Today our session is titled Answer the Call, UPSC Prep Starts Here. And a part of our discussion will be based on the book written by Sir. It is called Scaling Mount UPSC. It has the stories of 7 young IAS officers. And I'm very happy to say that the book is also available in Malayalam language as well. Sir, would you like to start by giving an overview of the UPSC exams and also what does IAS or civil service offer to an aspirant?
Hello, very good morning and thanks, Jeeva. So let's start because I can see very young people here and many of them are, I'm sure, aspiring civil servants. So the exam which we call as civil services examination, it is conducted by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, and this exam is conducted not only for IAS but also for IFS. IFS officer is with us. IPS, Indian Revenue Service, both income tax and customs, and around 30 services in total. So it's very prestigious exam because all the top-notch government service selection for the top-notch government services of Government of India is happening through this exam. Now even for the Indian Forest Service, which you have heard like DCF and Conservator of Forest, the prelims is common with the civil services exam. So this is a new development. And it is very competitive. It is said that this is the toughest exam in the world. And second after this is in China, the college entrance examination. So why it is so tough? First is in terms of numbers, because about 12 lakh students, aspirants, they appear in the exam. Means more than 1 million. And out of that, only about 1,000 get selected for various services. So in terms of ratio, in terms of probability, you can imagine that it is 1,000 out of 12 lakh. So the probability of success is low. Second, why it is so tough? It is because the syllabus is very vast. So I'll come to that. So the exam is conducted in 3 stages. Jiva has also gone through it, and more recently than me, I appeared in 1993, and that was my first attempt, and second attempt was in 1994. So it's 32 years back. So the exam is in 3 stages. First stage is called preliminary examination. Second is mains exam, and finally the personality test, or commonly called as interview. So the preliminary examination is totally objective type. Basically, it screens the candidates because there are lakhs of candidates. So it is objective type exam in which there are 2 papers. One paper is general studies, which contains entire thing in the world you can think of: history, political science, geography, science and technology, statistics, mathematics, is everything. So that is the general studies exam. And the second is called as CSAT, Civil Services Aptitude Test. So this CSAT is a qualifying kind of exam. It is not, marks are not counted in preparing the merit list. Only the marks of general studies are counted. So out of this 12 lakh plus candidates, prelim exam selects about 15 to 16,000. So these top 15 to 16,000 aspirants, they are then asked to write the mains exam. This mains exam is written exam. Like it happens in our schools, colleges, you have to write descriptive. It is descriptive exam. You have to write answers to questions. It is not objective. And it has 3 broad things. One is general studies, second is essay, and third is languages. So in general studies, there are four papers. So GS1, GS2, GS3, and GS4 is for ethics. So there are three general studies paper where they ask questions on again same political science, constitution, current affairs, history, geography, science and technology, and other things. And in GS4, it is about ethical behavior, ethical analysis, ethics we call it. So this is one vertical. Second vertical is essay. So you have to write two essays in 3 hours duration on essays on two topics. So these general studies and essays, their marks are counted for preparing the merit list. Moreover, there are two languages which you have to clear, which are only qualifying in nature. One compulsorily means you have to take two languages, English, which is compulsory, and any one local language. So here you can take Malayalam, or people from Tamil Nadu take Tamil or Hindi. So what are all those languages? One out of the languages mentioned in the schedule of the constitution. So there is a wide choice. I think there are more than 25 languages now. So this is the second stage. So out of 12 lakh, 15,000 write the mains exam, and about 2,500, I would say about 2,000 to 2,500, depending on the vacancies, they are called for the personality test or interview. Huh? Oh, sorry, I forgot very important thing. So apart from general studies, there is also one optional subject where you have to write the exam. So that one optional subject, there is a big list of optional subjects out of which you can choose any one subject. It could be history, it can be political science, or whatever is subject of your choice, public administration, anthropology, zoology, botany, mathematics. There is a big list. So you have to select one optional where you have to write two papers. So in all, there is general studies, there is optional subject, and essays. Their marks are counted to prepare the merit list, and based on the marks you secure in the mains exam, about 2,000 people are invited for the personality test or interview. So personality test is again of 250 marks, 275 marks. So she is more updated than me. So after adding the marks of personality test, the final merit list is prepared. And then depending on your choice for service and your number in the merit list, the successful candidates are allotted service. So it happens like Jiva may could have, I don't know what was your first choice. So generally people, first option of people is IAS, and second is IFS, then IPS. That is the usual order, but it's not necessary. If someone is very passionate about police service, he or she can give first preference as IPS, or if someone is very passionate about foreign service, they can give first choice as foreign service. This happens also because in my batch, the third ranker, Shambhu Kumaran, she knows. So his first choice was IFS. So instead of, he could have got into IAS, but because of his choice, he selected IFS. So that's, and in terms of vacancies, there are about 150 vacancies nowadays for IAS, and for IFS the number is very small. About, it changes, but about 15. 55. Oh, it's a big number. We are expanding. Okay, so overall, this is the examination pattern. Jiva may like to add.
Would you like to say about what does the career offers
Okay.
as when you become an IAS officer or a civil
Yes.
servant? So how does that change?
The second part of the question. So once you get selected, what is the career like? What do you do? So after selection, we have 2 years of training. 1 year of academic training in Missouri. We have Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. and 1 year of training in the field, in the districts. So where you are called officer trainees or under training assistant collectors or under training officers. And after this completion of training, so it is overall 2 years, 1 year academic, 1 year district training. Then the first posting what you get is called as deputy collector. Here it is called deputy collector. In north it is called subdivisional magistrate or no, not in training. After first posting is sub collector. It is called sub collector. In some states it is deputy collector. In some states it is SDM, subdivisional magistrate or subdivisional officer. So these are all same designations where you are in charge of a subdivision. Subdivision is what? Every district is divided into 3 to 4 subdivisions. So that sub collector is in charge of one subdivision. And this tenure is about 2 years till you get the next scale. So in IAS and in other services also, the promotion is fixed by years of service generally. So you get first promotion once you complete 4 years, then second promotion when you get complete 9 years, then 13 years, then 18 years. So this is time bound kind of stuff. Second, so in even the job of SDM is very challenging because a very young person, say who clears the service in 22 or 23 years of age, by 25 years of age, he or she is sub collector, where you have such a big area, such a large fund to implement various schemes, lot of people under you to obey your directions and do whatever you order them to do. So it's really very exciting. You can make lot of change. You are also supervisor of many departments depending on the state government rules. So in our states, SDM is in charge of every department in the subdivision. Then thereafter, the excitement continues. It multiplies when you become the collector or also called as deputy commissioner in some states. It's also district magistrate in some states. So this is the next kind of promotion, which is again very exciting because now you have to look after the entire district, implement the government schemes, redress public grievances, and take care of revenue records, supervise departmental officers of all the departments in the district. And slowly, slowly, the next stage comes, which is in the state headquarter, like secretary of the department, or commissioner of a department, or director of a department, again, which is again a very exciting responsibility. And in between, people go to Government of India on deputation. So I am right now on deputation to Government of India. So you get to work in the ministries as directors, joint secretaries later on. And when you come back to state, you become principal secretary or additional chief secretary, ACS, or then the secretary, and then some people also get to become chief secretaries. So in every assignment, there are different challenges. In every assignment, there are different opportunities. But there is definitely a lot of job satisfaction because you can help people. You can bring change in the area where you are working.
Thank you,
Is it
sir.
too long?
Yes, sir. I think it's a very meaningful service, and especially when you are in school and all, you would want to be part of the nation building, and you really get inspired when you read or meet civil servants. So that way, once you finally make it into the service, I think it's very fulfilling. So many civil servants, they often talk about how becoming an IAS officer has been their childhood dream, and for some, I think they discover UPSC as a career option much later in life, maybe when they are doing graduation. So, do you think it is important to start early? Does it really help when you develop an aspiration when you're really young and impressionable?
No, I would say not very early. You should listen to your heart, where your passion is, what do you want to do in life. So, but see, general studies means general knowledge. It will help you everywhere. Even if you go to corporate, you do your own business. So, I would suggest start with just getting knowledge of things around you or the general knowledge we usually call. But in my opinion, a good time to start is the final year of your graduation. BA, BSc, BTech. So the final year you should start building some base. And immediately after graduation, you should give it a shot if you really want to go into civil services. That has many advantages. The first advantage is that you are very young and academically you are very fresh. You are already in this rigor of appearing, writing the exams, appearing in interviews, appearing in vivas in the college. So you are tuned into that academic world still. That is one advantage. Second, people take admission in masters and they have access to library facilities, hostel rooms. So that is also another advantage. Third advantage is there is less pressure. Less pressure to get a job because you have completed graduation. So from family side also there will be less pressure on you to settle down, to earn money, to get a job. So for 2 3 years you can take your time. And similarly, personally also, you will not feel insecure that what am I doing with my life? Because this is a long exam. You have to at least study, I would say, for 2 years. Because the process itself is 1 year long. And if you are not lucky in the first attempt, which many people are not, it might take 3 4 5 years sometimes. So it's better to start early when you are fresh and when you have less pressure to settle down in life.
So I just want to say about my experience. I think civil service as an option was first told to me by my father when I was in sixth or seventh standard, and because I was just good at academics and I used to participate in extracurricular activity. So somewhere in my high school days, it was a very live dream. I have seen it in old autograph books. What is your ambition? I've written I want to become an IAS officer. But then, for a lot of people in Kerala, there is only two career options which gets presented. Either you go for engineering or you go for medicine. So I think after school, I kind of forgot about that particular dream. So it was first engineering for me, and then I did my MBA, and I was really sure that I would be going into the corporate world. So I wanted to break glass ceilings in the corporate world. And for me, what changed was the 2013 UPSC result, and that was really good for Kerala because among the top five, the top three ranks belong to Keralites, and that was the turning point in my life. Because it really reignited that old dream and spark in me. And when I read about the winners that time, I could really relate to them. I felt that if I also study and prepare, maybe this is achievable. So for me, I think that childhood dream, being it a childhood dream, really made a difference because that was like the mother planet calling you home. If I did not have that before, maybe I would have ignored it and proceeded ahead with MBA. That is what I
No,
feel.
no, it resonates with me also very well. I would say, I'll just share that when I was in class 8, I started subscribing what was then Competition Success Review. That was the only magazine which was available in those days. And I used to get very excited seeing photograph of IS toppers on the cover page. And so that time I started studying general knowledge and I built some base of general knowledge. But then, as like you, in college I forgot somehow, it got buried somewhere and we all got busy in the college studies. And then after, I'm a veterinary doctor. So in my internship, again, I started this because I also saw my seniors, some of my seniors getting selected in IPS or IAS. So that again ignited that dream and it came back.
So for many aspirants, like in my case, it is often father figures who really motivate and inspire them about becoming an IAS, and mothers offer unwavering confidence and support. So what can parents or elders or others surrounding an UPSC aspirant, what can they do to support an aspirant in their UPSC journey?
I would say this exam is an exam of the entire family. This mission is the mission of family, I would say, because as I've said, and you have also gone through it, the syllabus is very, very long, very tough. And that's why I have titled my book as Scaling Mount UPSC, because it's like scaling Mount Everest. So, because the syllabus is vast and the time is short, competition is intense. So, there are phases in the during this journey you would have also experienced when the candidate aspirant starts feeling low. There is erosion of confidence. So she will or he will start feeling ki I would not be able to do it. Is it a correct decision? My peers, they are getting successful. They have already got a job. Some of them got married also, and I have lagged behind. So in those phases of lowness, when in those phases of loneliness also and lack of confidence, they need immense family support. And otherwise also, if the family is around to support them, then they can do better in the studies, they can focus more on the studies, and the family should keep motivating the candidate, because as I have said, key success rate is 1000 out of 12 lakh, 0.0001%. So if there is such intense competition, unless there are good friends around, there is family support, success would become difficult.
Absolutely, sir. I really agree. I think very important to have that good support system in your family, in your friends, even your fellow aspirants. To really work without that jealousy or anything. To really support each other. That peer group also really important. And for me, I think apart from my family members and all, at different stages, I think good souls have come into my life to like really motivate me. I mean, they may not have really known, but they just say that you keep preparing, you will clear it. So sometimes that blind faith, I think like it really helps you. It really helps you whenever you feel low. So one recurring theme in your book is like one should not bury their IAS dreams, or one should turn their failures and setbacks into stepping stones to success. So, what would you like to say to someone who feel very uncertain or dejected in their UPSC journey? How can they, keep the fire in them alive?
See, when I would say that the very good example is there in this book, the story of a local girl, Minnu PM, and she lost her father when she was on the first day of her college, and she was at the receiving end of say from the people that she was responsible for his death and other things. So the girl was very depressed, and somehow she completed her study, and then because of the social pressure she got married very early. She got a job as a police clerk in police headquarters, but there was a fire inside her. Though there were a lot of responsibilities of a young kid, of in laws, of running the family, also a very demanding job. But, and there was a gap of many years when she stopped studying after graduation till she decided to prepare for UPSC. But she did not give up. She had that desire in her, and there is, once you have a genuine desire in yourself, it at some stage it comes to the fore, it comes back. So she listened to her heart. So if you have a dream, don't think that you have so many other responsibilities, don't think that it is very late unless you have crossed the age limit. Don't think that now you have settled, especially for the girls, you are married, you have a kid, you have to family to look after, now your ambition is over. Don't think like that. Always read some motivating story, watch some motivating movie, and get back to the aim or the ambition which you have buried inside you. You will definitely be successful provided you work sincerely for it. And sometimes it requires, if you have a supporting husband like Minnu PM.
Yes, sir. I think because of the nature of uncertainty of this exam, I think all you can do is make sure that you work sincerely and you work hard. For me, my take is that whenever you make an attempt, you do it sincerely. You give it your best shot, so that you are able to understand, where you have failed, where you have made mistakes, so that you can make the next attempt really count. So for me, I had started my classes. I had joined the Kerala State Civil Service Academy, and I started some classes. But really, that fear of exams is something that I have to still there. But that it was only when I realized that prelims is like 2-3 months away that I really stepped up my game, and I felt that if I clear prelims, it will really boost my confidence. Otherwise, I have to wait for a year. Maybe I will lose the steam that I have. And I really studied, had prepared hard. Then I appeared for the mains. That also, I think, like within the short time, I tried to give my best. And because of that, when I lost by few marks. So I was really able to like understand, okay, these are my strong areas and these are my weakness. And that really also gives you a lot of confidence when you can try to assess. And that is true for everything else in life also. So if you can really do a successful sincere attempt, then you are able to really assess and then work from there. uh, yes. So I'm hoping there will be some questions. Sir, for a serious aspirant, you have uh, told in the book, how they have to be really thorough with the syllabus, they have to be very focused, good time management. But what about someone who's just considering about UPSC? IAS is still a dream in the pipeline for them. So, you said that, we have to focus on general knowledge and all, but what are some other things, especially when they are pursuing graduation or something? They're not sure about IAS, but they want to consider it. They may want to give it an attempt. What can they do to prepare themselves, or what skills can they focus on?
See, one thing is because you have to write one optional paper also. So, one thing which you can start doing even in your graduation without much pressure is start studying the optional which you have in your mind. Many times it is the same optional which you are studying in the college. So, if you study it more intensely, the same things not only for the college exam but also for in taking civil services also in back of your mind. So if you study a little harder, gather more knowledge in your free time about that optional subject, that would take you very long. And even if you later on decide not to pursue civil service but to pursue your own profession, then also it will help. There is no harm in putting in extra effort in your field of choice. So that is one. Second, obviously, there's lot and lot of general knowledge. So start gathering general knowledge, which will help you both in civil services if you decide to go for it, and also in your normal career or daily life. Third, writing skills are important for every field. So, and UPSC also through essay writing or answer writing tests your writing skills. So, there is no harm in honing your writing skills. You can still write essays even if you are not inclined to do civil services, but still you can improve your writing and communication skills. So, what UPSC is testing is kind of very general skills, general writing skills, general communication skills, general analytical skills, general knowledge. So it's that way very kind of a general exam. So even if you subsequently decide not to appear in civil service, but you are improving your writing, you are improving your communication, you are improving your general knowledge, you are improving your professional knowledge, it will help you in life.
Yes, sir. Sir, I would like to say that, they can think about their resume kind of. So even if it's any other job, apart from your academic records, you have to mention what are the extracurricular activities, what are your hobbies and interests. And that is also very important for the UPSC also in your detailed application form. What are your participation? Have you done any leadership roles? Have you won any prizes? What are your hobbies and interests? So I think especially when you pursue graduation and all, it would be a good idea to keep that conscious thought to be active in college. There will be clubs, there will be activities to participate. So one particular thing that I've really noticed in the aspirants, the young aspirants now, is that they got the opportunity to work with the district administration, especially in the 2018 Kerala floods. there was a lot of relief work, so a lot of volunteers had work, and even for COVID there was some volunteer work. So at that time they really got the opportunity to work in close quarters with IAS officers, IPS officers. For many, that has really become very inspiring moment. And these days I think there are internship opportunities with the district collector's office. There are other volunteer opportunities whenever there is a government scheme. We have something called the young professionals in many ministries. So if someone really wants to just see the job up close and to really see whether this is something that will keep you happy, I think they can also look at these opportunities to work closely with the district administration or any other administration to understand what the job will entail for them.
No, I fully agree. And even in my book also, there is a story of Satyam Gandhi, who got an opportunity to work as an intern with one of the collectors in Jharkhand. So that really motivated him. So when he saw the collector live and working and what kind of work he was doing and what are the challenges and opportunities in the job, he got a first-hand experience which really motivated him a lot. So whatever you are suggesting is really wonderful, that if you get those opportunities in college to work as interns or work as volunteers with the district departments or with government offices, it will give you very good perspective and also will help you later on if you decide to write civils. So in your personality test, it will help you a lot.
Sir, as you mentioned, you cleared IAS over 30 years ago. And as you mentioned in your introduction today, there is a CSAT paper for preliminary examination. There is only one optional now. So, in your view, how has the UPSC exam changed or evolved in the past 3 decades?
See, there has been a lot of change in the last 30 years. I'll start with the prelims. So, in my days when I was writing the exam, in the prelims also there was general studies paper and there was one optional paper. So, even for the prelims, I had to study one optional subject as well as general studies. So, nowadays that burden is less because you have to only study general studies. And CSET is very qualifying, very basic in nature, so it's not that kind of a burden or a stress. Second, when you come to mains, in our times there used to be two optional subjects. So, general studies and two optionals. So, even covering syllabus of one optional is such a big exercise, such a heavy work. So, we had to cover two optional subjects. So, my optionals were veterinary science and zoology. And but in terms of essay, we had to write only one essay. And before my turn, my exam, even till 1992, there was no essay. So the essay was introduced much later, and it was introduced more to help the art side students because there were complaints that science students, especially people from IITs, they were getting very good marks in maths and physics, and they were clearing exam in higher proportion. So then this examination pattern was changed. So this ethics paper also got introduced in general studies. In our times, general studies, there was no ethics paper. So these are the things which keep on evolving to give a very level playing field to the candidates, because can, candidates from one particular field shouldn't get any unfair advantage. So UPSC is very conscious of that.
So for me, personally, the last revision of UPSC that was in 2013 or 14 was very helpful because earlier I think you really had questions where you have to write for 60 marks, quite descriptive. And I'm an engineer and an MBA. My mind works in bullet points and PowerPoints. So, when I had started, I was like, I don't think I will be able to, write an essay for 60 marks. So when they change that exam pattern where it is for 10 marks, for 15 marks, and it's more analytical, more logical, even if you may not be fully aware of that question matter, you will be able to, work with the structure. And so for me personally, the exam pattern change had really helped me
Yeah,
to
yeah.
success.
Nowadays, it's the best strategy is to write in bullets what you have said. and also make many diagrams or flow charts. So if it is simple presentation in bullets, diagrams, flow charts, it secures more marks rather than writing pages and pages without any highlight, without any bullets, without any subtopics. So that kind of analysis will be very helpful to the aspirants.
So, one skill aspirants can practice on is definitely good handwriting. Your handwriting has to be eligible for the
Yeah,
examiners to value.
very important.
Yes, sir. Sir, the last stage of UPSC is personality test, and it is not exactly an interview. And as we speak, the UPSC personality tests are going on in Delhi. So, in your view, how should an aspirant prepare or conduct themselves in the personality test?
I think you would be able to tell better than me about this, but I will start and you please add to it. So, in my opinion, and everyone knows that also, that personality test, as it says, is not a test of knowledge. It is a test of personality. Because UPSC tests your knowledge in the prelims. Again, UPSC tests your knowledge in the mains exam. So, personality test is how good or how suitable you are for civil services and what are the qualities or values which you have. So, both in terms of how you present yourself, how you analyze the subject which is asked in the test, and how honest you are. That is very, very important. So, even if you say no or feel sorry that you don't know 10 questions, also, I would say, out of 20, it is not a negative thing. But the remaining 10, you should be honest, you should be very analytical, you should be forthcoming. So that will help. And how you present, how you speak, and how honest you are, I would say, that is very, very important. Don't try to bluff the board. That is the key. Yeah, please add to it.
Yes, sir, I completely agree. In fact, when I got the call for my personality test, I think like I was really scared because I had known about this fact that you really have to be honest in the board. But even in your BTech Viva or as a MBA, I did marketing. You are taught to really talk and like really sell you, but that is not what they look for. Personality test. So I think in a way personality test is one of the easiest stages, but because you just have to be like yourself.
Yes.
So you have to be honest, and it is about your emotional intelligence. Are you aware of what is happening around you? Do you want to make a change? Are you an optimistic person and a hard worker? And how do you deal with conflict? And are you able to respectfully deal with different viewpoints and work with different people and bring them together and all? And as you rightly said, sir, even if one says I don't know for 90% of the questions, it is okay, as long as it is not questions that you can't say I don't know. If someone asks you why do you want to be a civil servant, I say I don't know, okay, that will reflect poorly on me. But otherwise, general facts and figures does not matter at all. So it's very important to have your own view on things,
Yeah.
because there will be follow up questions, so there will be questions. So you have to have that consistent stand on things, and that gets assessed. And most importantly, I think they just look at people who can be trained. Even if you don't know anything, you can be really molded. And for that, I can really say that even if you don't know English well or anything, doesn't matter at all. You can take your interview in the language of your choice,
Yes.
and then in your training you will be given classes and you can supplement. So nothing really, like the UPSC will not judge you for anything else. I believe.
Yeah, just to add to this, I will take again cite one example from my book. Shruti Sharma, she had a horrible interview and that personality test or interview. And when she came out and she started crying before her parents that I will flunk and I have not done well. Because in her opinion, because she did not answer many questions, she thought that the interview did not go well. But when the result was out, she was all India number one rank. So that's an example that even if you are not very good in communication, even if you don't know many facts and figures, it doesn't matter. What you have told is very correct, that you have to be consistent, you have to be analytical, and you should answer basic questions, that you shouldn't say no, ki why you want to become an IAS, and you say I don't know, then they will say get out.
Sir, in your book, you mainly talk about IAS officer, but I'm sure in your rich career, you would have definitely come across civil servants from other services also who would have, inspiring stories. Would you like to mention about one or two of them?
Yeah, definitely. One very well known story is of Manoj Sharma. There is a movie on it which is titled 12th Fail. And some of you would have watched that movie. And he is from really very humble background who fails in class 10th because there was no cheating allowed. And then he decides to study hard. And after lot of struggle and 4 or 5 attempts, he comes to Delhi, and there also he works in a floor atta chakki, which you call, and then he had no time to study. He cleans toilets and he works in a library. But again, sheer determination, sheer perseverance, and hard work, he becomes an IPS officer. That is very well known. Second, when I was doing research for this book, I was looking for people. Then I came across another very good story. That is, this boy is Meena. He is from really very poorest of the poor families, and he used to go to stone quarry with his mother and break stones and find some time to study. So thereafter, the first job he got was a constable in Delhi police, because he could find only that much time to study while earning livelihood by breaking stones in the quarry. And then after joining Delhi police, kept studying very hard for 4 or 5 years, and ultimately he got into Indian Audit and Account Service. So that's kind of ambition, that's kind of determination, that's kind of hard work, which can lift people really from, I would say, very low family backgrounds to really very high levels.
Yes, sir. Sir, in your book, another very inspiring story is about Anjali Sharma, who became an IAS officer despite being visually challenged. And how does life transform for an aspirant who comes from similar disadvantages or financial difficulties or physical challenges? How does clearing UPSC transform their lives?
No, definitely, Anjali Sharma is another very, very inspiring story. A very humble background girl in Sikkim who loses her eyesight in class 10th, and then there is darkness all around. She's not able to even do her daily chores, to what to say about studying. But still, she studies through YouTube, just listening to the videos. She prepares just by listening, and she appears in the exam through person the handwriting support scribe. Okay. But later on, see, the same girl who was in a remote part of Sikkim, dependent on people around her, now she is an IS officer in Bihar. She is working as sub-divisional magistrate or sub-collector, and she has achieved her dreams and dreams of her parents. So definitely, it is a very arduous journey. It is very difficult. But as you have yourself observed, that life totally transforms in terms of your role, in terms of your job satisfaction, in terms of your status, in terms of your future growth.
Sir, and such stories really inspire others also. I think in the recent UPSC years also from Kerala also there have been many students with difficult financial circumstances also, and with physical challenges. So some might be having from their central, but they were aspirants who have maybe lost a limb or their eyesight because of accidents. So how they have also
Yes.
really come up, and nothing has like really stopped them or deterred their determination. So whenever I get to meet them in mock interviews or something, I think it's just simply amazing and inspiring. And certainly they all are torch bearers, and they will speak to such similar students and aspirants also to dream and aspire for it. I think for Anjali also there was a senior who had
Yes.
cleared and how that person has changed. I think in a way, when aspirants like that clear, I think they also have a responsibility, inspire, and they can definitely change more lives, and they will bring in more schemes and programs to include everyone. I think to really create an inclusive society, I think they will make a lot of difference.
Can we take questions?
So we can open the floor for questions.
You have mentioned that it is the inspiration for the young generation, but from how the inspiration comes to the mind.
Yeah, that's very, very important. How initially the inspiration comes.
Yeah.
I think initially the inspiration comes when you see people around doing good work or in powerful positions. Like from me, I come from a very small village in Haryana, and whenever people used to talk, they used to talk about DC and SDM. That if you have any problem, let's go to SDM, let's go to DC. So initially it was that this DC creature or this SDM is someone really very powerful, and he has that ability to resolve issues of people. If water is not coming in the canal or not coming in the taps, or there is a fight over land or anything, the first point of call is SDM, DC, Tahsildar, the civil service officers. So that is one. And when I went to the college, I again saw when these senior officers visited the college or we attended the functions. So it kind of made up that image that there is a career in civil service which these people are pursuing, which both gives you the status and gives you the ability to resolve issues of people or make changes in their life. So in Haryana, whenever you say people, whenever someone is giving some gyan or showing authority, they will say, "Are you a DC?" That means the DC or collector is something very big. So that really motivated me initially. But when I got to know more about the service, more about the job profile, then obviously that aspiration intensified.
You are right. Actually, in Punjabi we say, "तुम कड़ा DC लगा."
हाँ सेम है तो हरियाणा में भी यही है कि तो क्या डीसी लगा हुआ है
I think
Thank you very much.
schools and teachers also play a very
Yeah,
important
yeah.
role. I think when you're young, when you're in school and all, teachers can make a lot of difference.
Yes,
Parents
yes.
or other elders in the family, and to just to take children to opportunities where they can just meet, or in schools when you invite IAS or IPS officers for various programs and they can see. I think it really makes a difference.
Yeah, in my book, there is story of a Kashmiri boy, Wasim. So he got inspired when Kashmiri IAS officers, very young ones like Athar Amir, he came to his college for a pep talk. So that also really motivated. So sometimes your teacher or your senior officer or someone also ignites that spark hidden inside you.
Hi, first of all, thanks for a very insightful session. I wanted to ask, as both of you have mentioned, this field has immense competition, and specifically the people who prepare for this exam are youth individuals who would otherwise be in the working force. So, what should be a realistic cutoff that one could maybe keep for themselves? Because if, say, a person who is just finished his graduation starts preparing right away, and if they keep on preparing till their final attempt, which would be around the time they are 32 or 33, then we are losing out on a lot of, say, lakhs of people who could otherwise be in the working force. So, what would your take be on that?
See, my take in this on this is that if you are preparing really seriously and if you are not doing anything but just preparing for the civil services exam, 3 attempts are enough in my opinion. But if you are not very serious, you are casual, or you have so many other responsibilities, or you want to try it along with your full time job and even not even taking leave, so then you can carry on till whatever time you want. But I feel that 3 serious attempts are enough.
Uh, for me, I cleared in my second attempt. for me, because I kind of really was serious from my first attempt itself, I really had that confidence that, things just had to align for me. That is what I believed. So that really kept me going. So when I was doing my second attempt, there were already talks of marriage in my home and all, and I was thinking, if I don't clear it this time, I was feeling very confident I will clear it in the third time. So I was thinking, even if I have to go to a hostel and stay away from my parents for a while, I'll do it, because somewhere it had really become my dream. Uh, but a good thing about UPSC preparation is that it really prepares you for everything else also. So wherever you go, if there is someone who has really prepared well for UPSC, they are really able to clear other exams. They are able to do well in other opportunities also. Because see, in my batch itself, in my IFS itself, there has been a girl who did not clear even prelims in 5 attempts, and she cleared in the sixth attempt. Prelims, mains, personality test with 108 rank. So it's like that movie. How do you decide an expiry age for your dreams? So it really depends on what are your dreams and how much effort that you're. But it really depends on what are your circumstances also. I mean, I was not under that immense pressure. Thankfully, I did not face financial difficulties. So sometimes you may have to do. So I think in the last 1 or 2 years, there has been a Keralite. He was working in Oracle. He did not leave his job. He appeared for civil service while working. So you can pursue other options also. Maybe do a post graduation on the side or start working somewhere to manage. But not compromising your dreams. And if you really see, sometimes there is some invisible stumbling block no matter what. So it's you have to assess for yourself and see if you want to take a break or if you want to leave. That is okay, I believe.
ഹായ്, ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചോദിക്കാനാണ് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനൊരു സെഷൻ വരുമ്പോൾ നമുക്കറിയാം നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ കുറേ ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ വരും. ഞാൻ 2 ചോദ്യമാണ് ചോദിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത്. അതിൽ ഒന്നാമത്തത്, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളുടെ കേരളത്തിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മലയാളികൾ IAS ഓഫീസേഴ്സായിട്ട് വരുന്ന കുറവാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ IAS ഓഫീസർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കോമൺ പീപ്പിളായിട്ട് കുറച്ചുകൂടി അറ്റാച്ച്ഡ് ആവുന്ന ആളുകളാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ സാധാരണക്കാർക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് കുറച്ചുകൂടി അറിയണമെന്നില്ല. അപ്പോൾ റീജിയണൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് പഠിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് നല്ലൊരു കാര്യമായിട്ട് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇംഗ്ലീഷും വേണം, അതിൻ്റെ കൂടെ റീജിയണൽ ലാംഗ്വേജസ് ഓരോ സ്റ്റേറ്റിൽ പഠിക്കണമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതാണ് ഒന്നാമത്തെ ചോദ്യം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ എനിക്ക് IFS ആവണമെന്നാണ് ആഗ്രഹം. പക്ഷേ ഞാൻ UPSCക്കാണ് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അപ്പോൾ IAS. അപ്പോൾ IAS അപ്പം ഞാൻ എനിക്ക് IFS ആണ്. അല്ല, അത് വേണ്ട, അത് നല്ലതല്ല, IAS മതി. അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു സ്റ്റീരിയോടൈപ്പിക്കൽ ആയിട്ടൊരു സാധനം നമ്മൾ നിലനിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സൂര്യൻ താഴെയുള്ള എല്ലാതും പഠിക്കണം. UPSCക്ക് ഒരു ക്ലിയർ കട്ട് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സിലബസ് നിലനിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ കുറച്ചും കൂടിയും ഒരു സോഷ്യൽ അവയർനെസ് വേണ്ടേ എന്നുള്ളൊരു ചോദ്യമാണ് എനിക്ക് ചോദിക്കാനുള്ളത്.
Thank you. So I'll just quickly okay. So ഫസ്റ്റ് പാർട്ടിൽ IAS ആകുന്ന സമയത്ത് അവർ ഏത് കാഡറിലാണോ അവർ സെലക്ട് ആവുന്നത് അവിടുത്തെ റീജിയണൽ ലാംഗ്വേജ് മസ്റ്റായിട്ട് പഠിക്കണം. എക്സാം പാസ്സായാലേ സർവീസിൽ കൺഫേംഡ് ആകുള്ളൂ. നമുക്ക് കേരളത്തിലോട്ട് IAS ഓഫീസേഴ്സ് വരുന്നത് കുറവായത് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ വേക്കൻസീസ് ഉണ്ട്. അതിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇൻസൈഡർ വേക്കൻസി, ഔട്ട്സൈഡർ വേക്കൻസി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ റാങ്ക് പോലെ ഡിറ്റർമിൻ ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ ഇപ്പോൾ ആണെങ്കിൽ സോണൽ ആയിട്ടാണ് ഈ കാഡർ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ പണ്ടൊക്കെ ആണെങ്കിൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ മലയാളി ഓഫീസേഴ്സ് ഉള്ളത് അപ്പുറത്ത് തമിഴ്നാട്, കർണാടക. അപ്പോൾ റാങ്ക് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് അത് വരുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ റീജിയണൽ ലാംഗ്വേജ് എല്ലാ ഓഫീസേഴ്സും പഠിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇവിടുത്തെ കോഴിക്കോട് കളക്ടർ എൻ്റെ ബാച്ച്മേറ്റ് ആണ് സ്നേഹിൽ. പോയാൽ എന്തായാലും മലയാളം നല്ല രീതിയിൽ സംസാരിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ അവർ പഠിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, അവർ പബ്ലിക്കുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്തൊക്കെ അവർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ഈ നമ്മൾ ചൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, നമുക്ക് റാങ്ക് അനുസരിച്ച് കാഡർ ഓരോ സ്ഥലത്ത് വരുന്നതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ എല്ലാവർക്കും പൊതുവേ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ മലയാളം എഴുതാനും വായിക്കാനും എനിക്കൊന്ന് 10th ലെവൽ അവർ എക്സാം പാസ്സാകണം. സെക്കൻഡ് ഓപ്ഷൻ ഫോറിൻ സർവീസിനെ പറ്റി ഞാൻ ഫസ്റ്റ് എഴുതിയപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഓപ്ഷൻ ഫോറിൻ സർവീസ് ആയിരുന്നു. ഒരു വർഷം കൂടെ വീട്ടിൽ നിന്നപ്പോൾ ഇതുപോലെ എന്താ പറയുക ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ട് സെക്കൻഡ് ഓപ്ഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഇന്ന് ഒരുപാട് കുട്ടികൾ എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഗേൾസ് ഒക്കെ ഫോറിൻ സർവീസ് തന്നെ അവിടെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓപ്ഷനായിട്ട് ഇരുന്നുണ്ട്. നമ്മൾ ഓപ്ഷൻ ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുമ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഐഡിയും പാസ്വേഡും നമ്മൾ തന്നെ വെക്കുക, നമ്മൾ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമുള്ള പോലെ ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യുക. അതൊരു എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഫോറിൻ സർവീസിലും എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഒരുപാട് പേഴ്സണൽ ഗ്രോത്തിനും പ്രൊഫഷണൽ ഗ്രോത്തിനും ഒക്കെ ഒരുപാട് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഉണ്ട്. നമുക്ക് ശരിക്കും അതിൽ താല്പര്യം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ എടുക്കാം. ഇപ്പോൾ സാറ് തുടക്കത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞു എല്ലാവരും ആദ്യം IAS എടുക്കും. IFSും IPSും ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓപ്ഷനായിട്ട് വെക്കുന്ന ഒരുപാട് പേരുണ്ട്. ദേ ആർ വെരി ക്ലിയർ ഇൻ ദെയർ മൈൻഡ്. അവർക്ക് അതിലോട്ട് നല്ലൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് അവരത് എടുക്കും. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ ഓഡിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് അക്കൗണ്ട് സർവീസ് ഹയർ ഓപ്ഷനായിട്ട് വെക്കുന്നവരുണ്ട്, IRS കസ്റ്റംസ് വെക്കുന്നവരുണ്ട്, ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോസ്റ്റൽ സർവീസ് വെക്കുന്നവരുണ്ട്. അതൊക്കെ ചിലപ്പോൾ അവർ ആരെങ്കിലും മീറ്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ അതിനെപ്പറ്റി കൂടുതൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കാനൊക്കെ പറ്റിയതായിരിക്കും. നമുക്ക് IFSൽ ശരിക്കും ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് തന്നെ ഫസ്റ്റായിട്ട് വയ്ക്കുക. എനിക്ക് എന്താ പറയുക, അന്ന് റാങ്ക് 147 ആയിരുന്നു, 90 സീറ്റ്സേ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നുള്ളൂ, കിട്ടിയില്ല, കറങ്ങി തിരിഞ്ഞ് വന്നു. പക്ഷേ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു എൻ്റെ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി വൈസ് എവിടെയോ അത് IFS സ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഡ്രീം ഉണ്ട് എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ തന്നെ ടേക്ക് ചാർജ്. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ആർക്കും കൊടുക്കേണ്ട ID പാസ്വേഡ് നമ്മൾ തന്നെ UPSCക്ക് പ്രിഫറൻസ് ഫില്ല് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ IFS നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ ചോയ്സ് ആയിട്ട് കൊടുത്തിരുന്നാൽ മതി. കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ പോകണ്ടെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കാരണം IASലും IFSലും വീണ്ടും എക്സാം എഴുതണമെങ്കിൽ രാജി വെച്ചാലേ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ ഒരുവിധം ആരും നമ്മളെ വീട്ടുകാരാണെങ്കിലും നമ്മളെ ഡിസ്കറേജ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് ചാൻസ് ഇല്ല. പക്ഷെ വളരെ സേഫ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള നമുക്ക് നമ്മളെ തന്നെ ഒരുപാട് എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന, അസേർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു സ്പേസ് ആണ് IFS ഓഫീസർ ആവുന്നത്.
ഹലോ മാം, ഹലോ സാർ. എൻ്റെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ മാമിനോടാണ്. മാം മെൻഷൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഇൻ ദ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി ടെസ്റ്റ് ഇമോഷണൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ് ഈസ് മെഷേർഡ്. ഇൻ വാട്ട് വേ ക്യാൻ വൺ ഡെവലപ്പ് ഈസ് ഇമോഷണൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ്?
സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് നമ്മൾ ഏതൊരു ന്യൂസ് വായിക്കുവാണെങ്കിലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ മറ്റുള്ളവരോട് ഇടപഴകുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ സർക്കംസ്റ്റാൻസസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട്സിൽ നിന്ന് വന്നവരല്ല എല്ലാവരും. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക, ഒരു എംപതി ഉണ്ടാവുക, മറ്റുള്ളവരുടെ വ്യൂ പോയിന്റ്സ് കാണാനായിട്ട് മനസ്സിലാക്കുക. ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ചിലപ്പോൾ എന്താ പറയുക, എപ്പോഴും ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി, ക്ലീൻ വാട്ടർ, റോഡൊക്കെ അഫോർഡ് ചെയ്തവരായിരിക്കും. നമ്മളൊരു IAS ഓഫീസറോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മറ്റേതെങ്കിലും ഓഫീസർ ആയിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് ചിലപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വളരെ ദൂരെയുള്ള ഒരു വില്ലേജിൽ ഇതുവരെ ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി ഇല്ലാത്തടത്ത് നമുക്ക് ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി കൊണ്ടുവരേണ്ടി വരും. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു ഇമോഷണൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ഇഷ്യൂസുമായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ മുന്നിലോട്ട് വരുന്നവരുണ്ട്. അവരെ കേൾക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു സമയം, എങ്ങനെ ഒരു സൊല്യൂഷൻ കാണാം. നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഒരു സിവിൽ സർവൻറ്റിന് ക്ലിയർ ആയിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് റൂൾസ് ആൻഡ് ഗൈഡ് ലൈൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അതിൻ്റെ ആ ചട്ടക്കൂടിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ടും എങ്ങനെ ആൾക്കാരുടെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ സോൾവ് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എനിക്കൊന്ന് മനസ്സിലാദ്യമേ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ അതിനുള്ളൊരു ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് വേണം. ആ ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റ് വേണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് അവരുമായിട്ട് റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റണം. നമ്മുടെ ജോബ് എല്ലാവർക്കും വേണ്ടിയുള്ളതാണ്, എല്ലാവർക്കും ബെറ്റർമെൻറ്റ് കൊണ്ടുവരണം, ഡെവലപ്മെൻറ്റ് കൊണ്ടുവരണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരെയൊക്കെ സഹായിക്കണം, അവിടെ ആ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾക്ക് സൊല്യൂഷൻ വേണം എന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ ചിന്തിക്കാൻ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു അവരെ ഉള്ള ഒരു സിറ്റുവേഷൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കാനുള്ള, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇവൻ ഒരു ലോ ആൻഡ് ഓർഡർ സിറ്റുവേഷനിലോട്ട് പോകുമ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ എന്താ പറയുക, ആ ക്രൈസിസ് സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ, അതൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു നമുക്കൊരു ഇമോഷണൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലേ നമുക്കത് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അല്ലാണ്ട് ഓക്കെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജില്ലാ കളക്ടർ പറഞ്ഞു എല്ലാവരും പിരിഞ്ഞു പോവുക, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കമ്മീഷണർ ഉത്തരവിട്ടു എല്ലാവരും പോവുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇറ്റ് ഡസ് നോട്ട് ഓൾവേസ് വർക്ക്. നമുക്ക് ആൾക്കാരുമായിട്ട് സംസാരിച്ച് കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ കൂൾ ഡൗൺ ആക്കി പാസിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് ചർച്ചകളൊക്കെ നടത്തി ഒരു സമവായമൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ ആ ഇമോഷണൽ ഇൻ്റലിജൻസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലേ സാധിക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your book and the consistent support that you give to the young aspirants. It was a pleasure to have you. I'll just conclude by one quote from The Alchemist, which has really resonated with me. When you want something, when you really want something, all of the universe conspires to help you in achieving it. So go dream wherever, whatever is your dream, and everything around you will help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeeva. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.